Beloved friends, welcome to PMC English. We are traveling in the path of Dhammapada and also understanding the Buddha and his nature and also his philosophy and ultimately understanding the Dhamma and Dhammapada. Human life is a very rare phenomenon in this world. By crossing number of lives, life after life, and changing the physical forms, different types of species and different types of animals, and so many number of creatures, and by crossing all the stages, we will get the human life. So, what is the ultimate goal of every human life? So, from amoeba to modern man, when we see the developmental stages, we will understand the evolution process, and this has been proved scientifically, and also so many spiritualists, enlightened masters and mystics had explored this reality and this truth in their inner world. Nowadays, the psychologists and also the scientists are proving it with their experiments in the modern era, especially the development of quantum physics and also understanding the consciousness and also experiencing the various energies. So many scientists and the people who are discovering the truths beyond psychology and also realizing the universal truths, I mean the laws of nature and also the ultimate truth. Nowadays, the space research organizations, especially NASA and also ISRO, are doing so many experiments and so many discoveries in the universe. Recently, NASA had proved a different type of phenomenon which is happening in the universe. And what is the strength of energies and consciousness in this universe? And they have taken photographs and also published in many journals and also in newspapers. We have seen it recently. So while doing all these things and while discovering all these things, the scientist had come to one conclusion, that science and spirituality is not different. Matter and spirit is not different, they are same. This matter is the outer form of the spirituality and the spirituality is the inner form of matter. They both are same. Without spirituality, matter does not exist, and without matter, spirituality will not explore outside. So they both are needed to lead a complete life. So many enlightened masters had discovered the same truth by practicing the so many meditation techniques and so many sadhanas, and they have discovered very scientifically that science and spirituality is not different, they are the same. By understanding the ground reality and practical reality, nowadays so many experiments they are conducting in the quantum level, in the atomic level and at the energies level. A human being is not only body, mind and matter, he is more than that. There are three types of energies in the human body. The one is physiological energy, and the second one is psychological energy, and the third one is spiritual energy. So when these three energies will come in one form, that is in human body, a life will start from the birth to the graveyard. This is the series of energies. It will change its forms, it will change its colors according to the psychology, physiology, and also the attitudes and behavior patterns of a human being. So while we are coming to the body, mind and matter, in this context, the Buddha had given a very scientific explanation 2600 years ago, especially about the psychology of a human being. So, Buddha is an inspiration for modern psychology. So many theories are there and so many philosophies are there regarding the mind. What is mind? Is there any existence of mind in the body? And where it is located? So, when you ask about the brain, they will show the particular place. So, the doctors will also explore the brain. Why? Because it is a part of physical body. And what is the characters? What are the characteristics of a brain? The first one is skills, creativity, perceptions, impulses, sensations, and also love and compassion. In the childhood, from birth to up to 5 years, the children are mostly, they live with brain, not with the mind. They are very creative. They are having so many skills. I mean, learning skills, listening skills, and also they will implement their ideas in their own life. So they have that freedom at that age. Nobody will condemn. Why? Because they are small children. Nobody will beat them. Nobody will impose their ideas on them. Why? Because they don't understand. If you impose also, they don't understand. So they will live with total freedom and total liberation. They will go according to their own accord up to 5 years. Then what happens after that 5 years? So while living with their own nature, own capabilities, own potentialities, naturally, without any prejudices, hypocrisy and sycophancy, with a very transparent and also crystal clear nature. So we can see these type of characters in children, those who are under 5 years. They have a very wonderful glow in their faces and they are very lovable and compassionate. Children, they don't encourage the non-violence. The children, they condemn when you kill animals in front of their eyes. They will stop you. Why? Because they don't encourage and support the violence. So their characteristics, they will work with the brain. So these are the basic characters of every human being in the childhood. Then what happens after the 5 years? Then slowly the mind will develop. Then what is mind? If the brain had came with the birth, then how this mind will develop after 5 years? And what is mind? Mind is nothing but your society, your name, your character, your parents, your family, your relations, and your friends, your philosophies, caste, religion, creed, greed, hypocrisy, sycophancy, and pretendance, and also the negativities which are imposed by the society, parents. All this comprises mind. After 5 years, slowly the mind will develop. A mind is a small layer which will develop on the brain after 5 years. So, when a children is developing, when they are in the developmental stage, slowly the brain activity will wither away and the mind will develop. So, they will become totally different, and when they grow up to full extent, the mind will completely develop and it will become dominant and it will rule the human life, whether in the wrong way or in the right way. Mind is everything. Mind is the barrier and it is the main reason for the conflicts in the life, and it is the main barrier for the good and bad deeds, and it is the main cause of your misery. Here the Buddha says you have to understand the mind and you have to understand your psychology. What is the characteristics of mind and how it will work and how it will change its form according to the situations and circumstances in your life, and how it will influence the human life, and how it will impose the ideas on you without your consideration and without your knowledge. How it is dominating you. It's a very small layer that is covering on your brain. So this small layer will creating so much of conflicts, violence, and also so many wars in the world. So when you are seeing the history of a human life, there has been happened 15,000 wars in 3,000 years. Why this wars had happened? Why this so much of violence has created? Because everybody will go according to their mindset, and the main base of the mind to live was ego, I and amness. It will dominate with the ego. The mind will live with the ego. If ego is not there, mind will vanishes. There are different types of layers in the mind. That is what the Buddha called. The first one is Vijnana, and the second one is Sankhya, and the third one is Vedana, and the fourth one is Antar mind, inner mind. So, in the modern psychology, the psychologists have divided the mind in 4 layers. The first one is intellect mind, what the Buddha called the Vijnana, and the second one is conscious mind, that is called Sankhya, and the third one is unconscious mind, that is Vedana, and the fourth one is subconscious mind, that is Samskara. So we call the inner mind is called Samskara. So within these 4 layers, the mind is working 24 hours. For example, when you listen a sound or when you see a picture, how this mind will work, you have to understand that. The first one is, when you listen a sound, the intellect mind will identify it. When the intellect mind will identify it, immediately the conscious mind will judge it. The sound is coming, whether it is good or bad, it will judge it. So when the conscious mind will judge it with good or bad, immediately you will get an experience in the body. If you think it is good, you will get the pleasant sensations on the body, or if you think it is bad, you will get the unpleasant sensations on the body. So while taking it consideration, the sanskara, I mean the subconscious mind, react to it. How it will react? When you get pleasant sensations on your body, the subconscious mind will cling to it. It will get crave to it. It will create a craving on it. I want this, I want this. And if you get unpleasant sensations, the subconscious mind will react like a aversion. I mean dvesha. I don't want it, I don't want it. So within 24 hours, while seeing the images, while hearing the words, and facing so many circumstances in the life, this mind will react so many times in 24 hours, and after all reactions, so many sanskaras are creating in the subconscious mind, and so much of misery is creating in the mind. Then how you will get rid of this? So in this context, the Buddha says, become witness to your mind. When you become witness to your mind, you will understand the nature of your mind, and you will understand the barrier of the mind, and you will understand the mind, how it is reacting from time to time. Then you will become conscious with that. You will get rid of your misery. So he had explained this theory 25 centuries ago, and still it is relevant in the modern era and the modern situations. So that is the reason why we will say Buddha is a inspiration for modern psychology. And especially nowadays there are so many theories are going on in psychology and also beyond psychology. And the first one was past life regression, experiencing the past lives with hypnotism, with sammohan, and also going in some hypnotic techniques. You will experience your past life. So what is the past life regression means? So when you are taken in an experiment to go into your deep unconscious and subconscious levels, you will understand the birth and life cycles while you are experiencing it, how you have experienced it, and also what are the stages you have crossed from so many lives, and what are the reasons behind that you have taken birth in this life, and what is the purpose of your life, and what is the vision and mission of your life. You will understand all those things by experiencing the past life regression. So this is what the Buddha say, Jati Smaran Siddhant. Jati means birth, life after life. Smaran means remembering. Siddhant means theory. That is what we call past life regression in the modern psychology. And also one more theory he had established was Alaya Vignan. Alaya Vignan means the science of body. Body has its own language. This very body is a temple. It has its own language, and also it is a very scientific process. It works in a very scientific way. If you understand the ultimate truth of the body, you will come to know the practical reality, and you will come to know the important theories and the important systems of the body. So the Buddha had given a very analytical analysis about the body and mind, especially on mind. He had given a very scientific analysis. That is the reason why we call him as a spiritual scientist. So many psychologists, so many scientists, and so many philosophers and revolutionaries, reformers, and also so many philosophers had influenced by the Buddha in the modern era. Everybody will accept the Buddha philosophy. Why? Because he had given a very scientific approach and scientific analysis. What he had taught in the Dhammapada, what he had given principles in the Dhammapada, he had given in a very scientific way. So everybody will accept it in the modern era also. So the Buddha was accepted by the whole humanity without any conditions and terms. Why? Because he had given a new approach to the life mystery, and also truth of life. And he had given a new approach to the life, and also given a various scientific phenomenon to open the secrets of life, and also to attain the nirvana and also Mahaparinirvana. Buddha is a great scientist and a great philosopher, and also a perfect enlightened master, and his philosophy was relevant to the modern era and also for the upcoming generations. It is an evergreen subject. A man will die, but wisdom is eternal. It's a most relevant subject, relevance to the modern society. Many scientists have adopted the philosophy of Buddha, and also they are traveling in the path of Dhammapada. He had condemned all the discriminations in the society, especially gender, caste, creed, greed, race, all types of discriminations he had condemned. And also he had given importance to the humanity, love and compassion. That is the reason why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and also Bertrand Russell and Friedrich Nietzsche, so many philosophers and so many revolutionaries had adopted the Buddha philosophy and also adopted the Buddhism to change the society, to change themselves up to full extent, and to make changes in the present society and also in the present scenario. So that is the reason why the Buddha had influenced the lives of so many people in the past and also in the present generations, in the modern situations. So that is the reason why we call him as a psychologist. He is the first psychologist in the world to give a analysis about the mind and also matter and body. So he had influenced the life of so many people. Many people have attained enlightenment, and that is nirvana, under his guidance. So many people are influenced by the Buddha philosophy and traveled in the path of Dhammapada and practiced meditation, that is Anapanasati and also Vipassana, and attained the enlightenment. Nowadays also we are seeing so many enlightened mystics are there. They are also influenced by the Buddha philosophy. So friends, understand the reality, and we are traveling in the path of Dhammapada. So travel with me. Not only traveling, practice it in your daily life. Daily practice meditation for 2-3 hours. The most of the time you will spend your time in working. Do every act of your work in meditativeness, with awareness, with consciousness and with alertness. This is the message given by the Buddha to whole mankind. Be alert, be conscious, be attentive, be equanimous. So become a perfect human being, and ultimately you will reach the state of enlightenment, Buddhatva, and that is what Buddha called nirvana. And also ultimately you will attain the Mahaparinirvana. Understand this reality, understand the truth, travel in the path of Satya and Dharma, truth and Dharma, and enter into the Dharma Chakra Pravartana. Come out of all the sorrows and miseries in your life and understand the truth of life. So you have listened to me with more patience and love. I bow down to that, and ultimately attain the state of enlightenment in this life only. Thank you very much.